Alright, Vitalik Buterin joins a cast of stoner cats. Mila Kunis' new animated NFT show. What's going on, guys? So it's been a while since I've made a video on this channel. I have another channel and I've kind of been focused on that. It's taken up a lot of my time. But, you know, also the crypto market has been pretty crappy. I'm not gonna lie, it's not been great. It's been pretty shitty. It's just been like, I don't even look at my holdings because what's the point? But you know, right now, it's going back up. I feel uplifted. So I figured let me make some videos on the NFT world because I haven't really been paying attention. And they're stoner cats, apparently. And Vitalik Buterin is joining the cast. Okay. Stoner Cats, an animated web series produced by actress Mila Kunis, already has an A-list Hollywood cast, including Jane Fonda, Chris Rock, and Ashton Kutcher, her husband. So this is pretty crazy. I'm really just gonna skip right over this. It's a blockchain linked TV show. From what I understand, let's just read some of it. All right. So to watch the first 5-minute episode, viewers must purchase a non-fungible token that is both a digital artwork of a randomly selected character from the show, as well as a ticket to unlock all Stoner Cat episodes as they are made. The NFTs will sell for 0.35 ETH, about $750 at the time of this publication. So that's pretty crazy. You know what? I really like this idea. It's very different. I wasn't expecting it at all. I figured we'd have a lot more video game related NFT stuff coming out, but TV show related NFTs, kind of cool. I'd really like to see the show and see what it's actually about. What does this article say? According to general partner Adventure Film NFX and a member of the team behind Stoner Cats, the decision to use NFTs to fund the series arose out of the concern over censorship of the show's drug-related content. This is actually a really good thing. And a big problem that YouTube has been having lately. If you guys know anything about I don't want to like, oh, you guys gets, you know, feel ways about this, but you know, the RP community, if you don't know it, it's a bunch of red pill is what it stands for, and it basically just kind of, you know, guys who are becoming more aware of the relationship dynamics of the world. We'll leave it at that. So anyways, outside the people yelling in the background, Stoner Cat isn't the first creative project to try to crypto crowdfund. Earlier this month, the documentary team behind Ethereum, The Infinite Garden, raised over 1,000 ETH on Mirror, surpassing their goal in less than 3 days. Crowdfunding via NFT sales allow for a direct exchange between consumers and creators, cutting out middlemen and in some cases offering a bit of creative control to the consumers themselves. Again, I'm really excited to see more of this. This is actually really cool. As someone who took broadcast and film in the past, I'm actually really excited to see what this comes for artists. And what I was trying to say before the interruptions of the yelling was that I forgot. Great. What was it? It's on the tip of my tongue too. Something around the idea of rights and artists and censorship. That's what it was. Censorship had nothing to do with the previous two things I said. Censorship. YouTube's been censoring a lot of content from different creators related to stuff like this, like drugs, and you can't really get it out there. But obviously people enjoy the stuff. People want to watch more adult related content on things that they either consume or are very aware about in their world. And so kudos to Mila Kunis for doing this and going this route, because yeah, definitely way better than if you were to post it on some network who one would try to take control of the project and two would censor the crap out of it. So I'm hoping to see more of that stuff, and hopefully in a way that, like, because I think, what is it, Theta is supposed to be kind of like a decentralized like video streaming platform. Don't know where the hell that project is at right now, but the idea behind it is great. It's YouTube but decentralized. Now that catching on is going to be kind of hard. I'm not going to talk about Theta too much on this, but that's definitely not going to be an easy thing to just kind of do. Anyways, So Vitalik Buterin, who is also involved in the Ethereum documentary, will join the cast of Stoner Cats as the voice of a cat called Catsington, a taxidermist. Money, I can't even say, monocully sporting cat who gives advice to the 5 living cats belonging to Mrs. Stoner. Very creative on that name, just calling her Mrs. Stoner. Yeah, so this is gonna be pretty cool, and I would love to see kind of what happens with this series, or rather what happens in the future with other series. Let's take a look. So this is like the first 28 seconds of it. Probably just got fucking got censored for that one scene. Oh shit. Yo, so me and my buddy once got a what was this thing? It was a squirrel. We're just chilling outside in this backyard, and we're smoking, and so we, it's outside, but like, the wind's picking up the smoke, and we're smoking a lot. So it carries over. We look over and we have this squirrel. I don't have a picture of it anymore, but it's just chilling on the fence, arms and legs just lying down there, just sort of vibing, just sort of like listening to the music and chilling. This just reminded me of that. This is also completely fake. My cat would run the hell away. When I used to smoke around my cat, even if he got like near a whiff of that, he would just run. But Stoner Cats. I wonder if there's another trailer I can find of this, because I would like, what more is happening in this series, right? A little bit more would be nice. But hey, that's the animated series Stoner Cats by Mila Kunis. I'll try and revisit that if I can find some more footage of just little things, just to showcase kind of what's going on. And I probably will. So outside of that, what else we got here? So I'm just gonna go over a bunch of NFT news that I came across. So Russia's Hermitage to sell digital copies of art gems as NFTs. So this is, I guess, one of the world's major art collections will auction virtual copies of 5 of its most famous masterpieces in August on the Binance NFT marketplace, the museum said in a press release. So that's pretty cool. What are they going to be releasing? Do not specify the exact date of the sales of digital copies of Leonardo da Vinci's Mona Lisa. And we got the cops now. Yeah, there's a lot of activity going on around me. Too much. I live next to like a fire station, so it's and an ambulance station, so it's one of those two. Probably the ambulance, probably not the cops, but anyways, that's kind of cool. So NFTs make luxury things more available, yet at the same time exclusive. This is also true. I mean, this is not something that I'm predominantly interested in. I'm not really I like art, but I'm not really a huge art buff necessarily. Like, I just like what looks cool, what speaks to me, what kind of adds more depth to it. I'll kind of give you an example of the kind of art that I would like to consume. If anybody has seen Bo Burnham's recent special, that is to me a literal fucking masterpiece. That shit was so good. It just reflects like a man who's like already just sort of peaking out of depression, but yet flung back into like an isolated state when ready to finally come out and like start socializing. He gets flung into back into the cage of his own isolation due to the fact that the pandemic happened, and and he's sort of just like, I would say it's less comedy and more just a guy sort of just kind of going through his thoughts of the world as it currently stands, kind of watching it over the last 5 years develop. And the way it's shot and the way he edited it, because he did it all himself, he shot and edited it himself, and the way it just sort of like, sometimes it just abruptly cuts and all of a sudden you're out. You're in something else, which may or may not be related to the previous thing you were just watching. And I feel like that just kind of matches. Like, yeah, that's how his mind was working at the time. It was just going really deeply into one thing, then started onto another tangent thought, and then just forgot that thought completely and never addressed it again. So I think that was pretty cool. Anyways, That's kind of the art that I'm into. This is kind of cool as well. I mean, I know a lot of people will like this. You know, it's good to see that other countries are also getting into this. So if Russia's diving into this, I'm sure it's everything like this is good for the growth of the NFT space and crypto as a whole. Spotify to allow merchants to sell NFTs directly through their stores. I don't think this is very surprising. I don't have an article here on it, but I'm pretty sure. I think what is it? Instagram is also getting into the NFT space. So it's like, okay, pretty much everybody at some point is gonna try and get into this. I remember, if you go back to some of my old videos, I was like, man, this bubble's gonna burst. I'm glad it didn't really, but it sort of did, which is good. Like it settled down a lot, which is appropriate. And I can't wait to see what other cool stuff, like the big Vitalik Buterin stuff, is really. I'm just rambling at this point, by the way. The Vitalik Buterin stuff was really what I wanted to talk about. Let's see. Spotify president Harley. I suck at names, by the way. Finkelstein. Harley Finkelstein said Monday his company is now allowing merchants on his platform to sell non-fungible tokens directly to customers. This is pretty cool. In his tweet making the announcement, Finkelstein noted that before Spotify's move, its merchants would have to sell NFTs to a third-party market, forcing them to relinquish control of the sales and customer relationships, which, you know, the crypto space is really more about putting more control in the people who's actually footing the bill. So this just makes sense to me in every way. And yeah, this is pretty cool. Do I have any more? NFTs are coming to India's flourishing art market. I didn't even brush over this. What is this? Auction houses are struggling to cater to India's growing appetite for art. With 624 million internet users in India, NFTs could be the perfect distributor. Alright, that's cool. The art sector has visibly struggled during the coronavirus pandemic. That's obviously going to happen. I think everything in the world has suffered except for like Jeff Bezos, who, you know, made more money and was able to go to space or some nonsense. So yeah. What's this? A study by the Art Basel and UBS found that public auction sales have fallen by an average. The recent interest in NFTs in the art market must then come as a relief to some within an industry struggling to find success online. The news of an NFT auction where a work by digital artist people sold for cool. Yeah, we know this already. All right, so whatever, people are getting more into the space of NFTs, as they should. Ooh, what is this? How are NFTs valuable in the art space? NFTs are not a new concept in the blockchain world. They have been around for several years now, finding popularity within the gaming market, and as fan collectibles, with more than one grown adult going into meltdown while attempting to acquire families of digital cats. Oh, really? Like, is that true? Are people going into are we having grown adults going in the meltdowns? Yo, reevaluate your life a little bit. Anyways, however, as an increasing popular class of digital assets, NFTs can also be used as digital certificates to represent provable ownership of art, recorded and easily verified using a blockchain. This is true. Okay, we don't need to relearn what the hell NFT is. An opportunity for India. While India represents around a 7% share of the global economy in terms of gross domestic product, its art market is comparatively small. In 2018, India accounted for just 1% of the world import in art, compared with China's share of 9%. Yet, despite its relatively small footprint and with the exception of the pandemic, the Indian art market has been booming. Nice. Annual auctions revenue in 2018 grew by a remarkable 29% from the previous year, outpacing almost every other market in Asia. That's cool. I mean, I got no problem with that. Let NFTs grow, let them boom, let people learn more and more about it. And, you know, I'm interested because I think what's happening with NFTs right now, we haven't even scratched the surface of what they really will become and the impact they'll have. Non-fungible tokens have a variety of uses. You know what I mean? So that'll be cool. I think we're just gonna end it there. I just wanted to make a video, to be honest with you. What's this?
NFTs are letting comic book fans decide the fate of their favorite heroes. Interpop is introducing characters to its emergence universe with a book called The Nine. So issue number 0 comes...
This is another thing that's actually pretty cool. Just having that control over like the direction of a series. Like, do you know how many unique, like if you can do this properly, right? Obviously this is like smaller stuff, but if you could do this on like a scale of like a Marvel like series, which is kind of like this, but in like a movie form, imagine the complexity. Imagine how interesting that would be, where you just wouldn't know which direction the story's going, and like you would just, the story you'd end up with would be like, you know what I mean? It would be so crazy, because it wouldn't be one person that came up with that. It'd be a series of people from across the world throwing in, you know, just trying to like, to, you know, have some fun. So I think that's great.
Out on July 17th, and Interpop's president said fans will decide who dies and what shoes they'll be wearing. So this is fun.
I mean, the death part's going to be crazy, because that's obviously going to impact an entire story. The shoes, that's just kind of fun.
Are getting to decide what the fate of their heroes and also their fashion choices. Adam, I'm gonna kick it right down to you. I think you are our resident comic book fan. What did you take away from this story?
So I'm not the comic book guy, but I probably
am. Are you a gamer guy?
I'm the gamer guy, and then I'm also
learn your shit, lady. Like, what the? Yo, she has one job. Just learn your shit. Pick the right guy for the right thing. That's it. I'm joking.
Those are the same.
Yeah, on the NFT side as well, I've been doing a decent amount of stuff there. The part that's really exciting to me about this project is that we've been kind of stuck in this dumb NFT period for a while, where like NFTs are being, like, when I talk about NFTs, I describe them as like, it's a key. And people have right now figured out that if you paint the key, then it can look pretty. And then they're kind of judging keys based on how pretty they are. But the value of a key is that it unlocks something that you don't have access to otherwise. This is stuff I've been playing around with.
So yeah, this is kind of what I just said. Like, I don't think we scratched the surface of what NFTs can do and will do. And yeah, I mean, we're not there yet. Like, but it's exciting, because we're at, like, it's kind of like I'm a 90s kid. So even though internet started before I grew up with it in a way that like the previous generation did not, and the current generation will not. And it feels like that all over again. It's like, but I'm a little bit more aware. Like I'm not the 90s kid, but I'm like, when, I don't know, whenever computers really started hitting like mainstream, like somewhere in the late 80s, I imagine, I became home appliances basically.
Since 2014. And it's called, at least in my parlance, token controlled access. So basically, when you own a token, you get access to something that you don't have access to without it. So in this case, it's the ability to influence one of these projects. And now I don't know if it's a good idea or a bad idea.
That's the thing, because like, I mean, there's gonna be limitations for sure. Because if you can do anything, you know, people are gonna be banging. You know, characters are gonna be banging other characters, right? Like that's what they're gonna do. That's it. It's just gonna become porn. Yo, NFT porn. What?
The overall story, sometimes involving the crowd in your decision making, can lead to, you know, ideas that are not the best one winning. But I think that as a way to kind of emphasize the difference between owning a collectible that is an NFT versus a collectible that is, you know, a baseball card that you just keep, you know, in a little sealed case on your shelf or whatever, I think it starts kind of the process. And I think that it is the start of the process, because there's so much more that we can and that we will see. You know, as this technology moves forward. But I think again, here we have something, I don't know if it's a milestone, but it's another indication.
You know, it's a stepping stone at the very least.
More than just pretty.
Yeah, I'm going to jump in there. Adam, that's such a beautiful analogy. You know, some people figured out how to paint the key and make it look pretty like that. I feel exactly the same way, you know, and I definitely agree. The future of NFTs isn't in these objects. It's in experiences. It's in that interaction. It's in the gaming world where you can, you know, influence things.
Which, by the way, I've been working on freaking like NFT staking. Well, I was supposed to. That's where I left off, and I never even got around to freaking finishing it. I'll have to get back to that.
It's in, create your own story world where you can interact with maybe shows. Like we've talked about how Fox has got this Rick and Morty show that's coming out.
Oh my God, that would be crazy.
Like some way for the audience to interact. We're not quite sure how that's going to work yet, but I am here for that. Like, I think that's going to be fun. And you're right. Maybe it's not going to be the best storyline.
No, probably not.
So
but it would be fun. Exactly. It's kind of like a giant improv experience, right? Because you don't know what's coming. And so it's like anything can happen, and like that creates again an improv experience. As someone as an improv kid, that's exciting.
Interacting with this thing, like we've seen, like those tales where you'll say, "Hey, can someone on the internet Photoshop out this lamppost from behind me?" And suddenly you have like 1,000 iterations of like the weirdest stuff, and that stuff is exciting. Like you see,
she's right. I agree with her 100%.
It's all about taking someone's meme and iterating on it and trying all these fun things. Like I love that. That is why I love the internet so much. And so I am so excited about this NFT world providing this mechanism for interaction with comic books and with shows and all of that. And this is on the
yeah, so I'm gonna end it there, guys. I mean, the NFT world is definitely becoming some crazy stuff, and I'm gonna try my best to keep up with it and keep track of it and give you some news at least once a week if I can. Anyways, guys, hope you enjoyed that. Leave a like, a comment, and subscribe for more. This has been Cryptopia. Yeah.